Now, I'm always looking for ways to make money, but honestly, I feel like there's a niche that's underserved. It's really the make money from home. You don't have to use a personal vehicle like a lot of these other platforms and apps in the gig economy in the side hustle space. So that's why in this video, we're going over a platform that I just really got into, and I want to give you an intro of this platform. It's called Respondent. So for me and you, this is basically a survey platform. It's completing business research, and we can see here it says, get paid to help cutting-edge projects come to life. Respondent is the best way to leverage your professional expertise for paid research interviews. Now that's kind of interesting. It is marketed as reaching the general populace for data and again, surveys here, but they do really focus on kind of that professional expertise. And actually, if you link a work email, you'll get access just to more surveys. Okay, so what is Respondent and how does this work? So search the project database and apply to screener surveys that best fit your work skills or experiences. A screener is a series of qualifying questions you answer that determine if you fit the specific criteria for the researcher's project. Respondents are not paid to take the qualifier screener surveys. And then it continues, the researcher sponsor of the study reviews the screener responses and sends invitations to the participants that they think are a best fit. So I've also reviewed a platform called User Testing. It's a similar thing. It's business, other research project, survey taking. And pay attention to that. Again, you got to take this screener first, and then you get an invite to participate. Again, we're going to talk about that here in a sec. Okay, so continuing, it says if we receive an invitation to participate in that said study, you'll get a time to suit your calendar from the researcher's calendar of availability, or you'll be asked to complete an unmoderated research project. So we're going to go over what types of surveys and projects that you can opt in for on Respondent. That's really important as well. Okay, so a response site, a survey site, business research, right? So as a respondent, let's go over the pay and how all this works. So here's the main screen, just opening dashboard here. Now, what I do like, it's pretty clearly laid out. Again, comparing this to other platforms like User Testing. But with Respondent, I can see the program title here. I can see the duration, which is really important because we can see, of course, the pay in the green text there. So I can determine, okay, I need to invest an hour of my time on this first example, $50. And then scrolling down a little bit lower, we have 2 hours for a project for $250. All right, so remember, we do need that invitation to actually participate. And again, we did do that screener question. So here's a breakdown of how this all works. Okay, status. Number 1, invited. It says you have been invited, but have not yet confirmed a time to connect. Nextly, schedule, which clearly, again, you are scheduled to attend this session. And then attended, your participation has been confirmed. And then ultimately, pay. Your payment has been processed and payment is on the way. Now, note here after that, it says it is the researcher's responsibility, not the respondent platform, to confirm your attendance and process your incentive payment. Now, they say incentive payment, that's just basically your pay, right? Incentive pay is just your flat pay for these projects. So how the platform makes money here, we can see after you have completed the research project, you will be paid the advertised incentive less a fulfillment fee of $1 or 5%, whichever is higher. So just make note of that as well. Now, the one thing with Respondent, and I believe this was actually on User Testing as well, is you do have to have a PayPal account. We can see here from their site, I don't have a PayPal account. It says the only way to receive an incentive payment on the Respondent platform is via a confirmed PayPal. Again, something to keep in mind. Now, I did mention if you have a work email, it does unlock different projects and surveys. But again, pros and cons coming soon here. There's something too that I'm going to mention. But take a look at what's unique, in my opinion, to Respondent. Again, just kind of comparing that to that User Testing platform. But check this out. So there's a lot of different ways you can make money with Respondent. It's not just typical surveys. And this may be good or bad. Let me know down below in the comments. But we can see here, firstly, a one-on-one, aka the interview. So remote one-to-one research is a scheduled meeting via video chats the phone or other communication methods. And actually, we saw one of the posted available surveys or projects, I should say, was this one for that $250 for 2 hours. So if you're trying to ballpark, like how much am I going to make per hour? That's pretty good here. But this one actually is one of those one-on-ones, but you can see here, this one is in person. So nextly, there's a focus group. It says focus groups are multiple participants joining in the conversation at the same time. Focus groups occur over video chat, phone, or other communication methods. Now, the next one is unmoderated study. Pay attention to this. I think this might fit a lot of what you're looking for here, but it says any project that doesn't involve direct interaction, either in person or remote, is a unmoderated study. Examples are surveys and UX testing online. So there's just your basic research project, your survey, right? So those unmoderated studies, you don't obviously have to have a video call. And of course, you don't got to meet in person there. So that is pretty convenient. So the next project type, it's diary study. It says a diary study is a study that takes place over time. Participants record their participation periodically. Okay, let's go over some pros now and then the cons. You're going to want to hear this with my initial experience with Respondent. So number one, I think it's pretty convenient. You just sign up with basic information and it doesn't get much easier than testing. Again, if it's UX testing, if it's website testing, whatever it is, it's convenient that you can do it from home. Some of those are remote. Again, something to consider there. Nextly, the pay is clearly listed. That's always convenient. And then there's also more options. If you don't want to do the in-person, you can do remote. If you don't want to do that, you can do the unmoderated study, etc. So my first impressions with cons, working on Respondent for about a month now. Now, I've been on the user testing platform maybe about 4 months or so. So here's some cons with Respondent. The main thing right now on a preliminary basis is just a delayed and a longer qualification process. So here's some examples of the qualifying questions. So I see, a survey, a project that I want to work on. So this one, it says, your approach to personal finance and goals. So again, screener question. I got to make sure that my demographic, my responses are what the researchers are looking for here. So $50 for 30 minutes, and this is a remote one-on-one project. So you can see here 13 questions in the screener. It's not too bad. This one, it says, when it comes to investing outside of what is in any of your retirement accounts, which of the following best describes your current approach? And it gives us options there. So going through all of those screener questions, you can see here successfully submitted. Now, again, here's the thing. It's kind of a con. Again, as a first-hand take here is I got to wait to see if I'm approved or denied. Now, conversely, with that user testing platform, it's basically instant, but it was kind of meticulous where you wouldn't qualify for a lot of those. So maybe it's better here on Respondent. So stay tuned. We're definitely going to go over that. So the screener experience itself, it's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Now, here's another con that I mentioned with those work emails. Here's the thing. So it asks you to confirm a work email, again, to qualify for different research projects. Now, unfortunately, you can't use an email with certain domain extensions. You can't use Yahoo or Microsoft, the Gmails. You can't use that. So the only email that I have, being self-employed, and maybe this applies to you too, or maybe just work for a small business and that's what you use, you can't use those domains to verify a work email. So in essence, I'm locked out of certain research projects that are industry specific because you're going to set up your profile. You're going to say, hey, this is what I do, income, et cetera, et cetera. They're building your demographic of who you are. Well, I can't really verify any of that. So without a valid, again, work email, but I just have the one email, that's just kind of a gripe at this point. So overall first take here, it is easier than user testing in some aspects. Now, both clearly lay out the pay. This one had a slightly longer screener because you have to do that as well in user testing, but it's a longer approval process. But the pay might be more worth it here. Again, that's something that I'm watching closely once I hear back if I'm approved or denied on Respondent. I feel like the uniqueness of Respondent is interesting as well. You know, hey, I can do the video chat, which isn't as common on user testing, and certainly the in-person, which is even more rare. You know, I don't even think that's an option really on user testing. So more options, but more unique options that you might not want to do. So that's something that I'm kind of weighing as well. But finally, and really one of the reasons I'm highlighting this platform, not only is it really the biggest business or research survey platforms, that and user testing, but there's more viability. It's actually feasible versus other survey platforms like Inbox Dollars, Swagbucks, and even, you know, a massive platform like Google Opinions. I've done it. I'm a big, not a fan of those penny survey apps that, give you like 80 cents, $1.20 for these surveys that you're just buried in your phone for hours trying to make any decent money from it. So definitely a lot more to come with Respondent once I see if I'm approved or denied on those screeners. And of course, comparing it to user testing, which one is better to make money from, because I do think this is actually a good option to make money, from home. You don't got to use a vehicle. It's pretty convenient. And again, it's in the comfort of your home. So we're going to keep an eye on this one. So if you did get value in this video, definitely drop me a like. And you can also click or tap screen here for my newest video, as well as a video recommended for you. And I'll see you in the next one.